With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Two teams here that came into the NFL together back in 1995, and off we go between the Jags and the Panthers. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Set, hut, 50, Henry, 52. Watch the slants, watch the slant.
On play action, Vic. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
Let's go.
A well-executed 22-yard gain.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position, everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner, and with good timing, you get a completion as we just saw there.
The first carry now, this is Alvin Kamara. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Watch twist.
Vic now from the 50. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. And all the way down to the 9. A big play there for Carolina. And even 40 yards. Well, how about the passing numbers so far on this first drive?
Well, no doubt about it. They're flinging it around pretty successfully. And look at the start. The confidence level that we see in him rising because he's hit a few early. And how about the last one? The big shot right there.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Ah, yes, Reggie White. I remember when they first started calling him the Minister of Defense. It was back at the University of Tennessee, snuffing out plays like that. Did you see that tackle for a loss? I remember him turning around the LSU game in 1983 with a similar play. Reggie White, one of the all-time greats.
13-time Pro Bowler, Reggie White. Second down and goal. Vic, the quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A touchdown-saving tackle there. Now it's 3rd and goal. Looking to cash in on this opening drive. Here's 3rd and goal.
That's trash.
3rd and goal, option right. And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. Michael Vick keeping it himself from a yard out. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Solid finish to a solid opening drive, and that's the threat that he represents. He can take off and score on you.
What he makes it is 11-on-11 football. Because a lot of the times the quarterback isn't much of a runner, so you don't have to account for him. Well, you do with him, and now he actually gets a lead blocker instead, and he's able to cash that one in.
The Jaguars take over at their own 25-yard line.
Ready up. The mic. 50's the mic. I don't even know why this team showed up.
Now the Hall of Famer. This is Gale Sayers. And he swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Big Eddie Goldman there on the tackle.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
Mike's 50. Mike's 50. Check, 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 check. Mike 50.
From the gun, Steve Young. He's going to let this one go deep. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Mike's 50. Mike's 50. Cover. Hey, Mike's 50. Mike's 50. Get your swerve on. Ready.
Young on third down. Flushed out right. He may try and run for this. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up fourth down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
There, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot him. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game, because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of you.
But when this ball's tipped and intercepted, picked up by Denzel Ward. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
Hey, check 6-6, pull it high. Hey, orbit.
Mike 52, Mike 52. I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run.
Get it.
Following the interception, Young being chased out left. And it's incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Here we go. Check 50. Check 50. Kill, 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 kill. Check.
They'll run with a Hall of Famer, Sayers. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets them to 3rd and 3 now.
That was a really nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on 1st down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
Here's Steve Young, steps away, and this is going to be incomplete.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Panthers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Ready, ready.
23-yard line.
Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. Off, off.
From the gun, Vick. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Incomplete. Darius Slay on the coverage.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Michael Vick. Got a man. It's Randy Moss, complete. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Charlotte, and it's the Panthers with the football. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. And they'll go ahead and down this one right on the chalk of the 20-yard line.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Ready?
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so...
He's got daylight. The 30, 10, 5, touchdown, Jaguars. Gale Sayers, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Jaguars have taken the lead. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Sirline connects on the extra point, and the lead is now 10-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone.
The Panthers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Denzel Ward, the number 4 pick in the 2018 draft, making the tackle from his corner spot. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Choose the Mike. Watch Mike. Watch Mike. Hey, let's get in them holes. Hey, Mike 52. Mike 52. Rabbit, rabbit. Rabbit, rabbit. New Mike.
Here's Michael Vick. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things.
52's the Mike. Watch the pass.
On 3rd down, Vick out of the gun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Watch the pass.
They run with Sayers. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Come on, D. Mike's 50, Mike's 50.
2 minutes remaining in the first half, 10-7, our score. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
Hey, zoom.
Hey.
61, matchbox lights. Look at me, zipper.
It's a safety crease.
Let go.
On third down, Young. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player?
Check Mike 50.
How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get that
they?
little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
Come on, set. 18 Gator.
Mike 50. You don't know no better.
Look at me. Go.
A run, this is Sayers. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hey, we got Mike 50. Mike 50.
Young off the play fake, rolling to his left. Looking left sideline, incomplete. Gale Sayers, the intended receiver, but now it's third down. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
Hey, lock it. Go. Ready.
Now Sayers. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And that is very well done there, as this will be marked out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
And from that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. Well, what's the plan of attack here? Very late second quarter, and look where the ball is.
Yeah, bad spot for you. But the defense has all 3 timeouts. So what you're telling your team is ball security number 1. It's not all on the running backs if you decide to run the football. That offensive line has got to protect them and wedge out some space because you can't just kneel. They take 3 timeouts. They're going to get the ball back in good field position with a chance to put points on the board. You've got to try and get a first down and run out this first half.
And they're able to bring him down at the 20. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
A first down throw coming for Vic. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a second down and 12.
We got four. We got four.
Here's Vic. He's going to look deep down the field. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left.
He was covered by Dante Jackson.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Here we go, here we go. Tight right, tight right.
This will be the final play of the half. Vic. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in this second half.
Come on now, let's go.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Throwing on second down. Young. This will be caught by Randy Moss.
Boom! Yeah, baby!
A gain of 6 yards. And it's third down.
Let's go.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6.
Give me that ball, defense. Give me that ball. Give me that ball, defense.
Mike 50, Mike 50. That's right, baby. They don't want it.
Let's go.
Now Young. Buying time to his left. And that is incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback.
20-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Yeah, let's go! Here we go, here we go. Hey, Lobo, 2, set, go. I'm on.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And I don't think Kamara got there. Looks like they stopped him short. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for Carolina. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. That's taken on the 25. Now, a nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
On the ready.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Second and 3 at their 48-yard line.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Check, 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 check.
Hey, wahoo!
Where's 52?
Looking to throw, Young. Got a man, it's Randy Moss. Touchdown, Jaguars. Randy Moss, 52 yards. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35 and make it the 40-yard line.
It's the third quarter, and they're down on the scoreboard. And while no one wants to hit the panic button just yet, points are a necessity on this drive. What a great way to get set up.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 40. Kamara. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Watch time, watch time. Tight end right, tight end right. Switch, switch.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Vick. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
On the give, this is Sayers. And he's got Rome. 20. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A big pickup of 38.
That looked like a 2-deep coverage, which we call cover 2. And what that really means is you have corners, what we call rolled up in about a 5-yard area on the outside receivers. Then your safeties are back closer to the hash marks near the middle of the field, somewhere around 10 to 12 yards back. So if you can break through the first level, you've got a chance to run before you encounter any type of resistance from the safeties.
We saw the example of it right there. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down.
Go! Bravo! Go!
That's the end of the third quarter of play, with the score Jaguars 17, Panthers 7.
Set up. 10 Lobo. General West. Hey, seam 6. Go. 5.
Young to throw it. Dancing to his left. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Protein spill.
Here's a give now to Sayers. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll try and pound it in with Sayers. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Gale Sayers, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Zerline good with a PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Throwing again, Vic on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Off the play fake, Vic. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Vic to throw it, and it is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And now, goodness, possession's going to go over right at the 10-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go.
Come on, set. 8, read.
All day.
Hey, orbit.
Every day. Any day. Mike 50, Mike 50. It's been long.
Get it.
Young looks to throw on first down. Forced out to his left. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Hey, Haywood.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Young being chased out left. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week? Oh, and now Vic throwing another interception. Darius Slay with a pick. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Going the other way.
All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
That throw by Young incomplete. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Let's go. 60 outlaw. Hey, box truck.
Hey, we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the...
Big grip.
3rd and short yardage, Young. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Randy Moss with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Jags take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Zerline connects on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language. Hands
on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And they'll mark him down right around the 9, just shy of the 10. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
Double dog. That's the way.
One last shot for Michael Vick. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Chris Harris with a pick. So they will set up shop. Excellent field position in the red zone at the 19-yard line. So this will be a win for